Welcome back, everybody. It is time for our favorite storytelling game. It's called That Reminds Me.
It goes like this. I'll tell a story that reminds Hayley of her own story, and then her story will remind me of my own story, and so on and so on. That's how you play That Reminds Me.
Our producers have given us a few story prompts to get us started, but of course there has to be a punishment. If you pause too long before starting your story, you get tripped up, or you get taped, I should say. So if you take too long, you get tripped up, whatever, you just don't have a story, period, you get a piece of tape on your face. And if you are in the middle of a story when our 60-second timer goes off, you also get tape on your face.
It's like musical chairs.
Basically, you don't want to get caught with your pants down.
Okay, all right, I guess I'll start.
Perfect.
Let's see what
our first prompt
is.
Lighthouse.
I went to a lighthouse in Aruba, and before I went up the thing, I remember
Hey, they gotta start the timer. Guys, you gotta start the timer.
I'm in the middle of it. Anyway, before I went up the thing, I stepped back to have my picture made, and I stepped into the biggest cactus thing you've ever seen, and when I removed my leg, the burr or the thorn was sticking out like that. It was still in me.
Gross. That reminds me of the time that we were down with our whole staff at Gulfport, Biloxi, Mississippi, and we went to that lighthouse down there on the coast, and baby Seth had to be in the very top of it. The amount of sweat pouring off that young man's body when he came downstairs, it looked like he had fallen into a pool, but he hadn't. He was just pouring sweat to cool his little body down.
That reminds me, when we were down there in Gulfport, Biloxi, near Ocean Springs.
Yes?
I was...
Take your time.
I parked properly in the parking lot, and whoever was driving, I think it was baby Seth or maybe baby Gary, those guys parked like a nut, and I videotaped it for a smile of the day, and they didn't use it.
Oh, good job! So I lose! Dang it!
What does that mean? I got to put a piece of tape
on Hayley, yeah. Tape her up good.
Regular tape or packing tape?
Oh, let's go packing. Why were you
don't
waiting?
rip my eyelashes off. Right there. Okay.
What do you mean?
You don't do as many returns as I do.
Okay. Hang on.
Love a man who knows his way around tape. I tell you what.
Is this your first taping?
Yeah.
Okay, just come over here.
Okay.
I got to leave your mouth open so you can speak, I assume.
I guess.
So we'll get to the nose right away. I don't want to get in your hair, but... Hold still.
This is taking way too long, Lee. Great. Oh, so good. Oh, I love this game. All right, what's our next prompt?
Anybody have
Anybody
an
got
idea?
a prompt? Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, I used to work with this girl who truly had the worst halitosis of anyone. And I remember every time I was around her, I would try to look the other way when we were talking. Sweet girl, horrible breath, truly a medical condition. She needed to get it taken care of.
I worked with a fella had horrible breath as well. And he would always look down upon me and breathe on my face. And it was potent. And I didn't know what to do about that because he was much taller than me, so it felt like toxic rain.
Yeah. And that reminds me of like when I was a kid, my dad seemed so tall, I demanded that he would hold me so I was as tall as him, and I would constantly say, I can't believe this is what the world looks like to you. And he'd say, you're in college, you need to go back to class.
That reminds me
Yes.
of the time I was with, I thought, a girl that loved me, and we were celebrating with a bunch of other people, and some guy picked her up and put her on his shoulders and walked off into the crowd and never saw her again.
That reminds me when I used to stand on my dad's feet at weddings and pretend that I was dancing while he was holding me and carrying me around the dance floor, and that's the end of that story. Boom!
I don't think that's the way it works.
Oh.
What in the world? That's no way to do a fella.
You look like Quasimodo. All right, what's our next prompt? Last one, garbage dump. Garbage dump.
Who goes first?
When I used to work in Knoxville, and truly we had a horrible fire at a garbage dump, and there was smoke for weeks in town, and it smelled like trash, and it was truly traumatizing. And each day I would say, please don't let me be the reporter that's out trying to cover it.
Well, anytime that I'm in Knoxville to visit the University of Tennessee and their football program, all I do is smell a garbage dump. So I don't know what you're talking about because it's like that every day.
One time, I remember I went to a Tennessee football game when I was in high school with my friend Kaylin, and I didn't know it was going to be quite so warm, and I wore a really cute orange sweater, and then I was pouring sweat the whole game, and I can remember I had these huge sweat rings, and I thought, no boy's going to date me now. They didn't.
That reminds me of the time that I was... I don't have a story.
You ran out of time, and you didn't have a story.
Tape the heck out of him.
Yeah. Shut up, Noah.